Hey,
Hello.
how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good, good. It's been an interesting day so far after
Why
my
is
gym
that?
session. Oh, I just had some unexpected it was kind of like a pre-production work day for us. We're doing some like planning for some upcoming projects and someone had wanted to jump on a call and then it turned we thought it was just a random business and then it ended up being someone we'd done something for and it was their sister and then it like just ended up it's like really cool, so it's really cool. We get to kind of hopefully be able to do this project, but like the whole the shooting's really intense, not in a bad way, but
Mm.
I guess like the reason behind wanting to kind of go forward with they had to like sell a house to buy a business, and then it kind of like the real estate had like fucked, or the landowner or landlord had like fucked them over and then taken it all back. And then so they've got one business and then now they've brought this new business, and then the dude who like they sold their house to like buy this second business. I don't know. It was just really crazy. But so
Yeah.
it's just unexpected because then I throw a wrench in everything, but it's cool. Like they want to do like a mini series, like a 8 episode style or 10 episode, and it's kind of like they want to mix between like the block and
Right. Okay.
um
So they're wanting to flip houses.
no. So they bought a space, I guess, for what this new business is for
Mm.
like wherever it is. But I guess there's nothing in there. So they've just brought like I guess an empty building. So they
Mm.
have to get all the plumbing and all everything installed. So they want to kind of do like a mini series of kind of showcasing
Right.
that.
Okay. Yeah.
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 But
Yeah.
then they want to add in like humor that's kind of like The Office. So
Okay.
yeah. It sounds
A
really
lot to
cool.
think about.
Yeah, I know. So apparently she'd been planning them out and scripting them. It was just really funny. Like the way she like brought it up to us was like was it as if she had it's like you'd think she was like a TV script writer or something. And then I
Mm.
was like saying that to her, and she's like, "Oh yeah, it's so funny that you say that," because I think she said she works in like law, and she's like, "When I was a kid, all I did when I used to just write scripts as a kid, wanting to do like TV things." I'm like, "Oh well, it's
Oh,
paid
that's
off
so
now because like this
cute.
just sounds
Yeah.
insane." So yeah,
She's living out her dream.
that's right, that's right. So
Mm.
it's been
What a fun project.
yeah. Really random, really came out of nowhere, but it should be exciting.
Yeah.
Big, but exciting. So
And
yeah.
different. Different from
Literally different. That's a good way to put it. What about yourself? How has your day been, I guess, from the gym
Oh,
to
it's been all over the place. I was at the gym and then I went in for a meeting with one of my clients for like 2 hours. And then I went home to prepare a few things about what we spoke about. And then another client that I was meant to shoot for tomorrow morning with my partner
yeah.
ended up rescheduling it. So I was like, sick, I'm going back down to my beach house, which is where I am now.
Yeah.
And then one of my other clients was like, can we please do this tomorrow morning? And they're closer to my home in Rosanna. And I'm like, so then I was just like traveling around everywhere, grabbing things. And now I'm
Yeah.
here and I'm
Yeah.
chilling.
So
So
you back at the beach house, or you're at
yeah, I'm at the
the
beach house. But it's because
yeah.
my dog just loves it here so
Yeah.
much. And it's a lot cooler, so he
Mm.
doesn't struggle as much. Have you met my
Yeah.
dog? I brought him into Doherty's heaps of times.
Yeah, I think I must have seen him once at least or twice. But what type of dog is it?
Kelpie cross Australian Shepherd.
Oh yeah. Because I know like I've seen like Tony's dog a few times.
Cheeky, yeah.
Yeah, and that's like one of Evie's like favorite brand of like a breed of dogs.
Brand of dogs.
I know, my bad, my
Breed,
bad.
breed.
Breed. Yeah, I'm like terrible with yeah breeds. Like I like I've only just recently like thanks to her, she like when we were living on the Gold Coast, I don't know if you been it's like Coolangatta, yeah, around Coolangatta, it's that creek before like kind of the bridge, and it's
I think I
more
know what you're talking about. I
yeah,
haven't
and
squeezed
all the
that for a
dogs.
minute, but I think I know what you're
Yeah. So we used to go there couple of times throughout the week, and it's like the little section that's segregated from the main part, and like all the people take their dogs to walk along, so we'd like sit there and she'd be like, this is this breed, and then I'd like slowly start to memorize it all.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I've always been, because I had a schnauzer growing up, and
Mm,
then my uncle had a staffy, and my dad then I think got a staffy as well, so I guess I kind of like I had my mom had a schnauzer,
hmm
which is really cute. um because funny, it was like a big one where here in Melbourne, I've only ever seen small baby schnauzers, like I get miniature ones, I guess. So it's been really
Yeah.
confusing to me because I'm like, why are they not like, I guess,
Big.
bigger to like what I'm
Yeah.
like used
Yeah,
to?
100%.
But it's been
That's
interesting.
like, have you, one of my friends got one the other day or a couple of weeks ago. It's a baby border collie where it just stays puppy size the whole time.
Oh, okay,
And
that's
I was
interesting.
like, this cannot be good for the breed
Yeah,
at
yeah,
all. It was adorable, adorable dog, but apparently it just stays that size. I'm like, how the fuck do they
yeah,
make a breed stay this size?
yeah. It's weird. That's how I'd been thinking about seeing all these schnauzers because like
Yeah.
her parents have Westies.
Oh
So
my gosh,
yeah,
I grew up with Westies too. I love
yeah.
them.
So they're very very cute. One's like a little feisty cheeky girl, and the other one's like this really just lazy boy. So they kind of like balance each other out a bit. So it's
Yeah,
very very cute. But yeah, the schnauzers that I've seen are about like that size or a little bit bigger. Where like yeah,
yeah.
the three schnauzers that my mom and my mom, because my mom's sister breeded a few.
Mm,
Yeah, they were like proper size. Like I'm assuming a little bit not as big as your dog, but kind of that in between, I guess,
mm.
size. It's interesting. I love animals, but
Yeah.
it's weird when you think about, I guess, like what you're saying. How do they get breeds that are normally bigger to stay so small?
They're normally mixed with another breed, but with this, it
Yeah,
was just a pure border collie, and I was like, that doesn't sound
fascinating.
too good.
Very, very
Is it going to have
interesting.
complications or something like that?
Yeah,
I don't know. Normally, purebreds have complications. That's why they started crossbreeding
crossbreeding. Yeah,
breeds. Um, but for some reason, I was just like, this doesn't seem right. How
yeah,
do you manipulate this?
yeah. One of those things. I don't know. What? How long have you had your dog for?
He's only just about to be 11 months. So I've had him since he was 4 months.
Yeah, that's good. So
I grew up with so many dogs.
yeah, yeah.
So
Is it? Would you say what is for your favorite breed that he is?
I love Kelpies. I love
Kelpies, yeah.
Kelpies. Mostly because I'm such an outdoors person. So I
Yeah.
take him for 2 walks a day easy.
That's
For
an
like
easy way
an
to
hour,
get
an
your
hour and a
steps
half.
in.
Legit. But they're also just they're so loyal and you
Yeah.
normally don't really have to worry about them being aggressive towards other dogs because I
Yeah.
fostered other dogs for a little bit
Yeah.
and a lot of the time you've got to be very cautious with them out in the world
Yeah.
because they've been through some shit, so they're
Yeah.
usually quite aggressive or something
Yeah.
like that. Um, but with this breed, because I want to end up adopting one or two more dogs after this, I was just like, at least with him, he's the best with every dog.
That's good. That's
Like
good.
he's just so friendly. Even if another dog snaps at him, he'll back down all the time.
Yeah.
It won't cause a fight.
That's good.
So
So at
he's
least you know
just
then
smart. He's too smart for his own good sometimes.
it'd be like that sometimes. I remember whatever my dad got after a Staffy, I'm not sure what breed, really small dog, and same type of thing. She had a bit of what's it called, like small dog syndrome. Like if she saw a bigger dog, she's like, no, I'm the big one. But like
Yeah, yeah.
she was really clever. She acted like a human. Like it was crazy. Like
Mm,
if you were sitting on the couch, she'd jump on the couch, and it was like she would sit in position in a way as if like you knew she was like she like it's like she knew the TV was in front of her. Like instead of like kind of I guess being more like a dog lounging down or whether she'd
imagine,
kind of
yeah,
like sit upright and like face the TV if the TV was on. It
yeah,
was very very funny, very interesting. Gotta
yeah.
love
Well,
animals like that.
oh my God, I know. Like with poker, I'll teach him one thing for like maybe an hour and then he'll pick it up straight away. So like I'll point at something or not even point. I'll say, all right, go upstairs and he'll run up the stairs.
That's so good.
Or like I'll be like, all right, go outside and go and pee. He'll go and pee
Yeah,
instantly.
yeah.
So
Easily
it's
trained.
so easily trained. It's ridiculous.
I guess it makes it more, what's the right way to put it?
He's
Less
easy to manage.
stress free for you.
He's really easy to
Yeah,
manage. 100%.
it's nice.
Yeah.
Well, firstly, I just want to say thank you for jumping on and
Of
thank you
course.
for having this chat and taking the time out of your day. So I'm really excited to get people to know a bit more about you
Hmm.
and hear more about your journey and get to understand more about who you are as a person and an athlete.
Yeah. Were you recording that whole time in the start? Because if you put it in there, people go back, what the fuck are these two talking about,
Yeah,
dog?
yeah. It's like automatically recording as like you comment. So yeah,
Nice.
be a nice little icebreaker to smooth things in.
Yeah. Everyone can listen about my dogs.
That's right. That's right. That's the number one factor they'll remember to take away. You love your dogs.
Well, if you go onto my Instagram, the only thing I really put on my stories is that I'm training a Doherty's or my dog.
Yeah.
That's all
The,
you're seeing
the
from
two
me,
the two facts. That's how you know her.
pretty much.
So I thought we'll kind of take things to the beginning
Hmm.
and let's just kind of talk about I guess, how did you get introduced into bodybuilding? And did you ever think that, you'd become a pro athlete?
Well, I never thought I'd be a pro athlete whatsoever, and bodybuilding fell into my lap. I didn't actually look for it at all. So at the end of COVID in 2021, I was training in my ex-partner's gym at his house for like all through COVID just because I was bored. But before that, I was a competitive cheerleader. So
Okay.
I was so used to being active all the time, and I was always going for walks as everyone did during COVID. And I got really bored by it. So I was like, what else can I do? I wonder how much muscle I could put on just
Mm.
for the sake of doing it. All through my cheerleading career, I actually had a few of my friends say you'd be really good at bodybuilding because I already had such big muscle structure everywhere.
Yeah.
And I was always like, nah, never gonna do that. I loved cheerleading way too much. The only reason we stopped was because of COVID, because we couldn't
Yeah.
train or compete. So, which was really upsetting, but it is what it is. And then who said it to me? Someone said to me, "Oh, you should get a coach and see just how well you can go with all this blah blah blah." And I was like, "Oh, I probably should learn how to do these things properly because I have no idea what I'm doing right
Yeah,
now."
yeah, yeah.
And so I reached out to, I think it was like three people that I just found on Instagram randomly when I just typed in like strength training coach or something. It wasn't even bodybuilding coach. It was just
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
strength training coach or something like that. And Scott was one of the ones that popped up. And so I sent him an email, and his email back was one of the funniest responses I've ever heard in my life. I don't even know if I can pull it up right now because it was so long ago.
Yeah.
But straight away, I was just like, I just want to work with this guy just
Yeah,
because
yeah,
he's
yeah.
so funny. And like, he obviously knows what he's talking about because he's very good at switching between being a funny dad
Yeah.
and then being really professional as well,
Yeah.
making you feel really comfortable with how professional he is. So I started with him, and then he was like, all right, send me some photos of like you on the side, blah, blah, blah,
Mhm.
just relaxed. I sent him photos, and he was like, holy shit, you've got a lot of muscle. And I was just like, yeah, I guess so. Like, all of us cheerleaders had muscle,
Yeah.
so I was just like, yeah, whatever. And he was just like, how long have you been training for? And I was like, probably about 2 months, 3 months. And he was like, what the fuck? And then he was like, well, do you want to compete? And I was like, I don't know. And then we spoke back and forth a bit about it. And then eventually he was like, all right, I've got two federations in mind. One was ICM, which is obviously
Yeah.
the first one a lot of people do just to get used to bodybuilding. And then there was IFBB. And this was probably about November or December, I think it was, of the end of lockdown. So 2021, I think it was.
Yeah.
And then I competed in 2022 at the IFBB only because I started posing with Donna
Mhm.
Atkins, Atkinson. And she was like, you're like 12 weeks away. Because we only did a 12-week prep.
Yeah.
So she was like, you're like 12 weeks away. You have to choose just one federation. I can't teach you to do both.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then we went into a front pose for IFBB, and she's like, you're doing IFBB 100%. So it's actually probably thanks to Donna that I
Yeah,
started
yeah.
IFBB. Otherwise, I would have just done them both and seen,
Yeah, see what happened.
yeah, saw what happened. So, yeah. And then it just all kind of fell into place from there.
Yeah, that's crazy because I think because I don't because yeah, so that would mean you would have done 2022 season A,
Yeah.
and I don't
That was my
remember.
first season, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, because I don't remember that show too well. And I remember, I think, seeing when like stumbled upon you was like yeah, the lead up for season B at the time of
Hmm.
2022. And
Hmm.
isn't that then the show that you won your pro card?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's crazy. Like you
And I,
did
it
two
was such, it was literally within like 8 months I turned pro. And
yeah,
I was
that's
like,
insane.
what the hell? Because I think I started prep at the end of January. I think it was.
Yeah,
And it was only 12 weeks. And yeah, I won everything in
yeah,
the first show and then went to nationals, won my height class. And then so we weren't even going to do nationals. And then Tony pulled me aside and he's like, you need to fucking do nationals.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I wasn't even meant to do the open class at the state show. And then Scott quickly ran to Tony and was just like, can we just quickly throw him in because you just won first time is what it was called at the time
Yeah.
and novice. And then he was like, yeah, whatever, you guys can just pay for it after. So I jumped in it and then I won it. And I was like, what the fuck? They didn't have overalls at this point
Yeah.
at the season show, at the state shows.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to do nationals or not. I don't even know if I want to be a bodybuilder. I just wanted to do it to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And then I think after probably a week, there was 3 weeks between that and nationals. After a week, Scott was like, you haven't gained any weight. Do you want to do it? And I was like, yeah, why not? So we jumped in on it, won the height class, and I went to go off stage, and all the people at the side of the stage were just like, "Where are you going?" And I was like, "To see my parents." I didn't know what an overall was. I didn't
Yeah.
even know
Yeah.
there
Yeah.
was an overall. And then Donna quickly ran backstage and was like, "No, no, no, you gotta go on, you gotta go on." And I was like, "What the fuck is an overall? Someone tell me what this is." I have no idea what it is. Because I never actually watched a bodybuilding show until I went and did one.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just all kind of fell into place, and I was like, I actually like I'm pretty good at this. I kind of like it.
Yeah.
And then I think we only went to season B because after like a month off thinking I was going to actually continue doing this, I had a few people approach me and they're like, "You should just do it.
Yeah.
Why not?"
It's
And I was like,
crazy.
"Okay." So we literally just flew into season B. My prep was a little bit longer because we
Yeah.
wanted to see how it went longer, but hadn't gained that much weight or anything like that. So it was just kind of like a really cruisy, eating so much food into show. Then it
Yeah.
all just kind of happened.
Yeah. That's like honestly one of like I guess the coolest stories that I've kind of like heard of like someone like unintentionally because you like what I've worked out so far is basically like one of two things. You either know of bodybuilding or and then you kind of go in it that way.
Mm.
Or yeah, someone kind of says to you, you should do a bodybuilding show, and then you do it, and then you kind of fall in love. But then to kind of already have a package that is, I guess, pro worthy or a package that gets you in the top space, and then to kind of just be like, oh yeah, I'll just give it, see it go, see what happens, and it just kind of just be a domino effect like that is
Yeah.
crazy. So crazy.
Yeah, I think the best ones that you see are ones who aren't trying to be someone else in the
Yeah.
industry because a lot of people who get into it going, I want to look like this person because they did this, blah, 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 they end up not doing too well because
Mm.
they don't realize that they're not that body shape or
Yes.
anything like that. So I had no idea who any pro was,
Yeah. Yeah.
or maybe just before I turned pro because people were like, oh, there's this thing called the Olympia and the Arnolds. And I was like, what is all this stuff? Like, what do you mean? How does this work? So I actually had to
Yeah.
learn a little bit
Research. Yeah.
about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then once I turned pro, I was just like, fuck, okay, now I really have to learn about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
That's
then,
insane.
yeah, I just kept on like, obviously, when you start something that you're good at,
Mm.
you end up like really loving it at the start and you're like really dedicated
Yeah.
towards it, blah, blah, blah. So I think that's why it worked quite well for me, was because it just fell into my lap and then it became a big routine of my life for the past 3 years. Because
Yeah.
I've been doing back-to-back preps pretty much the whole time.
How much do you think, I guess, I don't know a lot about cheer. So would you
Mm.
say there is like a lot of, I guess, discipline that comes in and that was such a big part of your like life growing up and prior to bodybuilding that kind of helped like transition you into, I guess, doing your first prep? Or
Yes
would you
and
say it was a completely kind of obviously bodybuilding is super unique, but like how similar, I guess, were the things that you took from cheerleading to bodybuilding?
I actually have thought about this quite a bit because bodybuilding to me is, I don't want to say it's easy, but it feels effortless
Yeah.
because it's just become part of my routine. I enjoy doing it. I love the community, which is a big part of what cheerleading was too.
Mm.
The community that we had at our gym was awesome. We were all best friends. We loved going to training because we were all so close and we got to see each other all the time. So we would be training like 4 times a week, usually in the evenings because most people have work or school during the day. And then the discipline comes from no matter, especially when it comes close to competition time, which is probably very similar to when you're in prep. You're not too concerned about what you're eating,
Yeah.
but you're more, even if you're tired as hell and you're doing back to back full outs, which is pretty much lifting and sprinting for 3 minutes straight.
Yeah.
When you're doing back to back full outs, you just have to like harness this inner energy and just keep going,
Yeah.
which I think is why like cardio is pretty easy for me to do because I know how to just switch off and do it.
Yeah.
Same with lifting and things like that. It's like you know that you can be better the next time, and you've learned that from cheerleading, where it's
Yeah.
just like as much as cheerleading is a team sport, if one person's not doing the right job, the whole team falls apart. So it's like it is individual and a team sport at the same time.
Yeah.
Because if you're not pulling your weight, everything else is falling apart, which is the same as with bodybuilding. If
Yeah.
you're not doing your best, everything else behind that falls apart. So,
That's it's really cool to kind of see that in some way, like, if you want to call it irony, but it's like, yeah, everything kind of was slowly pushing you towards that direction to, I guess,
mm,
becoming a pro. And it was kind of
yeah.
like things were like leading up to this point. Was there so after you'd done season A,
Mhm.
and what was kind of that overall, I guess, like feedback was, like obviously there wasn't maybe necessarily a direct plan to go straight into season B, but was it something that Scott went like, was the feedback from the judges like you were close, like it was there, like, and it was, that's why it was like we don't should just kind of jump back into it. Did Scott think, yeah, let's just kind of move into it, or was it kind of like I guess like it was it super spontaneous, or what was that kind of already communicated that you were there at that point where you could have the pro card?
I think Scott is very, very good at not putting pressure on people.
Yeah.
I know he had conversations with people, but he didn't tell me about it.
Okay.
He, I think he's mentioned little bits and pieces to me over time, but he's very good at being like, I want you to make the decision, and
Mhm.
then I'm gonna like give you the information you need to push forward, sort of thing. So at the time, I had only made a couple of friends
Yeah.
by that point, but I started to become really close with like Tony and a few others that were in the industry, and they kept on being like, you would kind of be a fool not to do it because then you're going to have that what if in your head if you don't do
Yeah.
it, sort of thing. And I think that's what kind of pushed me. And I also just, I missed being in prep, which was strange. I was just like, I loved the day to day routine. It really worked well with the job I had at the time and all of that. So I was like, I just kind of want to go back into it.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about a pro card. I was just like, I don't care what I place. I just know that if I don't do it at least one more time, I'm gonna be like, oh, what could have happened?
Yeah.
Like, would I have done something bigger with this? And then not once during that whole prep did Scott ever or anyone ever say to me, you will win the pro card. There were some people that were more acquaintances that would say
Hmm.
that to me, but anyone who was close to me would never say it. And that's always the people you want in your corner. The
Yeah.
ones who aren't going to be like, you are going to win this.
Yeah.
You're my front runner. They just say, like, you've got a really good chance of
Mm.
it. So,
I
well, they
think
were
that's
supporting
important.
the whole way.
Yeah, I think that's actually a really important thing of kind of because I think something that's, I guess, become super relevant within the sport is like this, when you talk about pressure and
Mm,
how, and especially like I think there's been more news about how much stress can actually affect the body and you don't realize it, and then how that pressure of, even though people are trying to be encouraging to you and go, you're my front runner or you can win the pro card, you know, it is subconscious pressure that then you're putting on yourself to kind of hopefully deliver or not let these people down, even if they are acquaintances, because then you start going, oh, well, then I should be holding myself at that standard. Well, then I should win the pro card. I got to deliver. So I think it's really nice to kind of hear you share that, those people closest to you kind of, I guess, had that good approach to,
mhm.
remove that pressure from you and just allow you to kind of do what needs to be done, and whatever happens, happens.
Oh, 100%. The only time I'm someone who doesn't really get anxious or feel pressure too much because I'm just kind of like,
Yeah.
whatever happens, happens. I'm very easygoing. The only time I actually felt pressure was when I was going into my first pro show.
Yeah.
And you could see my body was shit on stage. That
Yeah.
was like the worst I'd ever looked. And then I did a show 3 weeks later where I was just like, all right, and I'm not gonna place in the top. I don't really give a fuck anymore. And I
Yeah.
ended up looking so much better.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't normally post up too much about my preps.
Mm.
Just because as much as I should, and people love watching it, and every time I do post anything, they're like, this is awesome, blah blah blah. I do it for myself, not to
Yeah.
post it. Because I know that as soon as no matter how strong-minded you are, it does get to you,
Yeah.
especially as a pro. Like being a pro just puts so much more on your shoulders to do well, all of that. But I think the best people are the ones who just work in silence.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's being able to, it's cool. It's really fascinating. Like it's like, someone that comes to my mind like very similar to you in a way, obviously not. It's like I think you've got categories as well. It kind of breaks down to people that I guess, the sport's made for, like as bad as that sounds, like at the end of the day, it is like, genetics is 100% the biggest ball game. And like by the sounds of it, you have that lottery ticket. And like, someone that was kind of like that in the amateur ranks was like Callum. who,
Hmm.
did his first show, was just like, wow, this is insane. And then second show pro card. And I like, Morgan was really similar with that too. And it's something how it's like that pressure. It's like, I'm sure same thing for Callum. It's like, you kind of all of a sudden ride that coattail of how well you did and how natural things felt. And then all of a sudden now you got to go kind of hopefully hold that momentum. And I think you can
Hmm.
sometimes sit in a little, not be delusional, but it's like that pressure of then, oh, I'm a pro now. Now I gotta like keep that momentum going. But you gotta remember you're starting from the bottom again.
A
And
hundred
that
percent.
and that's something that you kind of, I guess, we're juggling with now, that pressure of, okay, I gotta do really well. I'm a pro now. And then I guess not being able to remember that what kind of got me here and got me so well was the fact that I didn't know anything. I like was learning about the sport as it was happening. I just
Yeah.
so happened to be really good at it and naturally. And then, yeah, your physique kind of just didn't sum up so well. And then you prove the point again, which I think is just amazing data for you and Scott, which is then,
Oh, 100%.
doing
Yeah.
that next pro show, less stress, who gives a fuck, and then did an amazing job.
It's so hard not to be anxious in the pro league.
Mm,
Like, even if you're the best in the world, as many reps as you do, you will get those shows. And you've seen it with all the pros.
yeah.
They'll have one show where they obviously felt a lot of pressure because everyone has a sound around them that they're
Mm,
going to do so well, blah, blah, blah. And then they crash out just before they go on stage. So it's a privilege to be a pro, 100% it is. And it's awesome to be able to make a community and everything like that. But I
yeah.
think with being a pro, you got to remember that you're still an amateur
Mm,
as well.
yeah.
Like you're an amateur, but in like the pro
Yeah,
sense
yeah, the pro ranks.
of
It's
things.
just like the Olympia. It's like you look at it like that. You have like, let's just say, like, bikini. There's so many athletes, so then you
Mm-hmm.
have different ranks within the athletes. Like, you have the people that are in the top five, and then
Hmm.
before the top five, you have like, 6 to 10. So it's like so even just trying to win a pro show to then winning it and getting to the Olympia, then you're starting from the bottom again at the Olympia, because then it's a whole different people that have already
It's
won
just
multiple
an
shows.
endless cycle.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah. And every prep does get easier, but because you know so much about your body, you think too much into things a lot
Yeah,
as well. Because you're just like, my body's doing this. It must be because it's blah 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 blah. Instead of just being like, my body's being like this. I wonder why.
yeah.
It'll fix itself.
It's
Or
so cool. I really like to hear that mindset, I guess, that you've kind of being able to, sounds like you already kind of had going into it, and then it's like whether you like lost it for a little bit and then you've kind of resettled back into that, I guess, more carefree. Like, it was funny, like someone who, the person I had done a podcast with, Lachlan, he like coaches himself and he's a dad, and he was saying like he'd never been a pro, no, no, not a pro. He'd never competed without having kids, so he doesn't know what it's like to like prep without kids. So he's had to learn mindfulness, and at the end of the day, he thinks, what understands bodybuilding is a privilege, and being there for his kids and his wife is way more important. So he's learned to kind of, I guess, be more mindful and carefree when it comes to competing. So he was saying how like the when he won the Victorian overalls, he was ready 12 weeks out.
mm,
And it was, so then he had no pressure, and he was just able to just be able to just do what needed to be done, stay in
mm.
that decent body composition and land the plane, because then all his focus was just on, how can I show up as a dad? How can I show up for my kids? What can I
Yeah,
do?
that's awesome.
So yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's it's really nice and refreshing, I think, hearing, especially because of social media, hearing that there are people, and I think it continues to push that message across to people listening. You need to try and remove that pressure. You need to try and be more carefree. Like, and that's the importance of having a coach, allow them to have the accountability.
Yeah.
That's, I think,
Yeah, one of the biggest things that helped that, which is going off from your other podcast, is what you were doing, minus the food, obviously, before
yeah,
going into prep. Just keep doing that. Keep
yeah,
showing up to events, keep going and seeing your friends and all that stuff. As much as prep does take over a little bit, and you got to be a bit more time
yeah,
manageable. My best preps have been the ones where I pretend that I'm not in prep,
yeah,
and then you don't feel the pressure of being in prep and being
yeah,
close to the
definitely.
show and all
That's
of that.
smart. That's
So,
smart. I like that.
like I remember I used to be the designated driver like everywhere. Whenever I was in prep, everyone was like, "Yes, Laura's driving. We don't have to get Ubers, blah blah." But I'd still go out. I'd just go
Yeah.
home at a reasonable time.
Yeah, that's cool. It's good. It's showing that you have the balance too, that you can still enjoy life and it doesn't need you. I think that's right. It's like I think it's funny. It's like that, what do you call it? Not nuance, but it's like that contradictory of bodybuilding of like, when you look back at the old things, they were also hardcore, and that's what makes bodybuilding,
Mm,
so unique and so fun. And it's like that fantasy that you want to live in, and especially
mhm,
when you're watching pros and it's like all they do is sleep, eat, train, and
mhm.
it's like, but you got to remember like that's
But
not
that's also
necessary.
their lifestyle in the off season, which
Yeah,
you got to remember as well. So if your lifestyle in the off season is completely different, and you're struggling during prep, just try your best to make it very, very similar. Like it's a mirror, but
yeah.
it's got a slight little crack in it, which is where you've got your extra prep things that you need
Mm.
to do.
Which is why you said time management, so important.
Mm.
And I think if you can nail that time management, it just makes everything a lot smoother. Where people, I think, then try to go, how can I time manage, but then focus on making the bodybuilding stuff more the priority. And then that's how they get stressed out.
But that's when they need to practice doing it in the off season because
Yeah.
my off season and my prep, that's why I mean by they're so similar, is because
Yeah.
I had a life that I just slotted bodybuilding into. I didn't have a bodybuilding life and like try to get my life to slot into it. I had
Yeah.
it the opposite way around. Whereas like my life is here, bodybuilding just fits.
Yeah.
So you've got to make your life manageable so then something can fit into it.
Speaking of like off seasons and prep,
Mm,
obviously, like you kind of said, when you first had done the first season 8 prep before you had turned pro, and you kind of missed being in prep, which
mm.
which I think is funny. And you kind of liked
It's
obviously
just
that,
so strange. I know.
yeah, that routine that you,
Actually, now that I think about it, you know why that probably is? Was because when I was in my first technical off season, which was
yeah.
just 2 months with Scott, things were just starting to open back up. So when I actually got my routine was
Oh,
when
okay, yeah.
bodybuilding came back. So it was like I was still working a little bit here and there, but like I did get my routine of being able to go to the gym in the morning and then
Mm,
go to work. But like I think that's why it worked so easy because my whole life changed at once and that was it. I
yeah,
was just so happy to be out and going about. So
that's true.
yeah, so now that I think about it, I think that
Yeah,
actually might be why it slotted in so easily was because I made them both work together.
yeah, yeah.
But it's still gonna be the same for anybody else. Like you do have to put work and all that first.
It's funny to think back to COVID. Like we were having a conversation about this actually. I think we were talking about. Oh, I think I was sharing something that I had listened to on a podcast, and they're talking about something happening in America, and then saying how then they were like how they used to comment back on like it's like crazy to think about, oh, if that's happening in America, like it's like how would that be happening in Australia, like what is the Australian version? And then it was like making me think about something else that I'd seen that was like when COVID was happening in Americas were commenting on like the Australian lockdowns and saying how like crazy we are and like they couldn't believe what was going on. And then there was,
Especially in Melbourne. Like
yeah, and like we were on like the Gold Coast, and so like the only like annoying thing that I had to deal with was kind of like because I lived across the border at the time, like in Kingscliff.
mhm.
So and I was working in like Robina, so it was like I had to cross that border that's in Coolangatta. So that was like really annoying with like the passes and stuff. But
Mm.
I like seeing all the stuff that was happening in Melbourne. Melbourne copped it the worst.
Bruh, it was like 2 proper years of being locked down. Like I'm very lucky that I during COVID, I think it was like 2 months into the first lockdown. I was meant to go to Europe that year. I was
Oh
so butthurt.
no,
I
that's
just booked everything, but we hadn't paid yet. And it was
mm,
literally like we didn't want to pay because the news of COVID started.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And within a week later, we were locked down. And we were like, oh my God. I think the only money I lost was like $200 of a
Oh, that's
deposit.
not too bad.
And we were like, thank God, because this was about to be 10 grand or something
Yeah,
like that.
that's devastating.
I know. But yeah, within like 2 months, 3 of my best friends and I decided we're all just going to move out into a house together. So we did that.
Yeah,
And it was really easy to get a rental at that point because anyone just wanted anyone in because everyone
yeah,
was
yeah.
moving back home because they didn't know how long it was going to last for. And so we really easily found a really great rental. And so we all had partners too. So there was 8 of us in this house
Oh,
and we
that's
were just
cool.
not, we got the cops called on us like 4 times from playing Mario Kart
Oh my
because
God.
of how into we were having
Yeah,
like full on tournaments with stuff. We were playing like the beer Olympics.
yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
it was just a crazy house. So every now and again we all message each other and go, kind of want a 1 week lockdown because it was really fun.
Yeah.
Can't say about everybody else. And I feel very bad for everybody else, but we were so lucky.
Yeah, like literally, that's like you hit that it's like you hit that like golden opportunity where you're able to have 8 people in one house. You kind of don't have to worry about trying to meet up with people and like you stuck or whether
We're
you
all
had
really great friends too. Like
yeah
all the boys were friends and all of us girls were friends.
yeah
Like it worked really well together. I didn't get very much sleep during that time because even though we were so locked out, like we had nothing else to do, it would be like we get up and we walk for like 5 hours because we're
yeah
and then we would just go to endless markets and then cook so much food. I reckon my calorie intake every day was like 4,000 calories. That's probably why I built so much muscle
yeah.
because I
That's
was just
crazy.
eating so much food because we were bored like everybody
And then
else.
you would have just been obviously resting and recovering and then doing like the weight training. So then
Exactly. So it was
yeah.
kind of similar anyway.
That's crazy. That's a cool story. I like that. Very fortunate in that regard.
I have a lot of other stories where I was obsessed with baking cookies. I don't like sweets and I don't
Mm.
like cookies, but I was baking cookies for the whole house because they love them.
Yeah.
And one time when the cops got called over, I offered them because I had like 4 massive jars. I offered them a jar of cookies, and they were like, "Oh, they look really good, and we wish that we could, but we're actually legally not allowed to, like
Oh,
in case
real.
there's anything in them."
Yeah.
And they were like, "Can you send us the recipe?"
That's
We
so
became good
good.
friends with them, and then it ended up being those cops that kept getting called
Like,
back.
oh,
Oh,
that's
so
awesome.
fun.
I'm sure lots of people have some very fun, interesting stories from COVID.
I know, right?
Crazy to think
Especially
about.
us Melburnians. I remember hearing about some of my friends that were doing some very illegal things,
Yeah.
but it sounded like a lot of fun.
Just like kind of one of those things when the world when everything's kind of gone to shit and you can't really do anything. It's like when you can, I guess, be the most creative because you kind of have
You test
some
the
form of
waters
lean
and
ways.
boundaries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
All right,
back
back
to
to bodybuilding.
hey, no, like I
Sidetrack.
said,
This is why in the gym I have such a bad resting bitch face because if
yeah,
anyone comes and talks to me, my gym session ends up going for like 4 hours.
yeah.
I'm not actually mean. Anyone who comes to Doherty's, I love talking.
Just
I'm
gotta
doing
get
my
the
work.
work in. It's like catch me as I'm finished my workout, so I can. And
Or
when I'm on
even
my
then, I
last,
normally have to like rush to a meeting or something like that. So I'm just like, I'm trying. I'm sorry.
it's hard. It's hard.
I know.
Um, what was I saying? Oh yeah, to do with off season and prep.
Hmm.
How do you? I guess I'm intrigued to know like how do you find what is being harder? Like do you enjoy do you still enjoy being in prep compared to being in off season? Because obviously having to kind of fit a category and by the sounds of it you can put on muscle really easily. How do you what do you find more enjoyable? Like do you find it hard kind of navigating sticking to the criteria
Mm.
or is that still easy and you enjoy the train that's involved with that and you're not so crash hot about prep anymore or is it just the same?
Well, after my last season, which was the end of 2024 now, what year are we in? 2023?
Yeah,
Yeah,
20%, yeah.
2024. I was in America and my body just stopped responding because I had such a long prep. We kept on like picking and choosing which shows I wanted to do. And so my prep ended up being like almost the whole year.
Yeah.
My body by the end of it just hated me so much. Doesn't help as well that at the start of that year I got tonsillitis, I think it was, and I kept on like going in and out of having it.
Oh, that sucks. That
So it
happened
ended
to
up
her
being
last year.
mm,
Horrid experience. So I
so
can only
bad.
imagine what you went through.
I ended up having to get them removed this year,
Oh,
last year,
yeah.
um, which is really bad for a 26-year-old at that
Yeah,
time
yeah.
to get them out because there's a lot of complications that can happen when you're older.
Yeah, when you're older.
Um, But yeah, so I just had this overwhelming feeling that I needed to take a big break. So I'd been doing back-to-back preps for like
Yeah.
3 years. Like the longest break I think I ever had was like maybe 6 months, and half of that was recovery, and then like a bit of an off season, then back
Yeah.
into prep. So we took a year off last year, and I was just waiting to get that itch, and it wasn't really coming back.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I don't really know why it's not coming back. Like the last show that I did, I did quite well. I came 12th out of
Yeah.
like 20 something girls or something like
Cool.
that. I wasn't quite in shape,
Mhm.
annoyingly, because my body wasn't
Yeah,
responding
not
well. I
responding
was
yet.
having these really bad leg issues where I was
Yeah.
getting like full pins and needles down them. We couldn't figure out why.
Yeah.
So my training, like the 2 months before my last show was just hell,
Yeah.
hell on earth. And I've never had issues like that. It was almost like, do we continue prep? Do we not? And I
Yeah.
was like, I've been prepping for like 5 months now. We're getting on stage.
Yeah.
I'm doing this. So we went to America, and then my body was just not responding, and I was just continuously getting sick. And then when you're in prep for that long, as much as you try not to have food focus afterwards, you do.
Yeah.
Like you can be the best in the world at reversing whatever, but you'll still have a bit of food focus. Um, so I was in and out of having food focus. I was also just like getting tonsillitis all the time again. I was having back issues, and then I ended up rupturing discs in my back. And so I was just having so many issues
Yeah.
right at the start of the year.
Just going downhill.
Literally, and I was just like, I think my career's over. I need to retire. Like this is fucked. And I was just, I don't know what it was. My brain was just like, I want to step away from bodybuilding. So I think I didn't train for like 2 to 3 months, or
Yeah.
I was in and out of training. I just couldn't concentrate. I didn't like training anymore. And then eventually, once I got my tonsils out, my whole body responded again.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy how much having one like
Yeah.
dead kind of thing in you can fuck your whole body up. So we think that might be why my prep was so bad, the
Yeah.
all that. But now my body's responding great. I'm finally got the itch to go back on stage now.
Exciting.
But yeah, it's off usually with off seasons because I've never really had a long off season.
Hmm.
It's taken me a little bit to get back into the rhythm because now I'm just used to not having to have my mind set towards a goal. But now
Yeah.
that I do, I'm motivated again. Whereas it actually, when you become such a big bodybuilder, you lose your motivation when you're not doing bodybuilding, and
Yeah.
it like comes off in your life as well. So even like with my job and everything like that, I was just not motivated with anything in life. There were
Mm.
days where I was just laying in bed, didn't want to move, didn't want to get up. So I guess you could say it's like, which I'd never experienced before. It was really, really weird. But now we're okay.
Yeah.
But I think everyone needs to just feel their feels in the moment when they can.
Mm.
Whereas I wasn't letting myself
Yeah.
feel my feels.
Yeah.
So I guess what I'm saying is off season, on season, no matter what it is, however you feel that day, feel it.
Yeah.
Just be in the moment with each day. Don't think about the next day, whether you get a high carb day or not,
Yeah.
all that stuff. Just honestly, just feel each day as it comes. Otherwise, it all just comes together in one go and you explode.
Yeah.
It was my like 3 years of not exploding, and then I had like 6 months of exploding,
Yeah. It
and
just
it
like caught up
really
to you.
gets you. So,
It's that typical saying, like when you bottle things down, eventually the lid's gotta burst.
and I never thought I'd see the day. And even
Yeah.
Scott was just like, I've never seen you like this. And I was like,
Yeah.
neither have I. This is weird. But it's
But
also like your hormones going so up and down
yeah.
all the time as well. So that's why I'm saying if you're feeling something, you feel it.
Yeah, yeah.
Just fucking feel it.
But I think it's important to, you know, experience it. Like I'm a big believer in, I like to call it like the human experience. Like
Mm.
you just kind of got to really, embrace the lowest lows and the highest highs and all the little middles. And sometimes you have to, go through those moments where, yeah, you think you can keep going, you bottle down, and you just have to it go. It's all exploded.
Mhm.
Things are going downhill. Life just sucks, even if it's one thing after another. Because experiencing that and learning how you can control it, adapt it, improve, then just only makes you better. I think sometimes people don't want to experience it, or when they're going through it, they try to find fixes or try and find things to ignore it or push it to the side, and then they end up kind of staying stagnant and not progressing further.
But that's even going back to the point about pressure. Like I felt pressure to keep being strong and happy and
Mm,
bubbly and loving the process because I was always known as that person who loved
yeah,
it. So then when I was feeling another type of way, I was like, I'm not allowed to feel this way.
yeah,
I wasn't letting myself feel like that. And then, as I said, I literally stepped away from so much. Like, I wouldn't even talk to my friends. I was feeling that out of it and not
yeah, it's
knowing who I
crazy.
was. So, I mean, as I said, there's a bug in here. Sorry.
That's okay.
Flying in my face. Whoa.
Oh, just like zoomed right. That was so
Sorry.
funny. Oh, so good.
No, going back I had to do a lot of like, I was always someone who was never against self-worth and stuff like that, but I was like, I'm never gonna need that.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
got to the
yeah,
point where I almost had to go and see a therapist because I was just so lost
yeah.
in my life. And now that I have properly like spoken to people
Mm,
or like found out what issues were arising and then spoken to the people, whether it was about them or a
mhm.
situation that they know about. So I think it's just honestly just being truthful.
Yeah.
Like it relieves so much stress. Like now I feel so stress free again.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm just so bluntly open again about things.
Yeah.
Which I used to be, but then I was just like, oh, I don't want to come across like that person.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what the fuck is these bugs?
Uh-oh,
Um,
zooming back in.
I know I'm waiting for it. I keep pushing my laptop back. Um, yeah, like you feel a lot less pressure when you're completely yourself as well.
Yeah. Authenticity is important and like
It
showing
is,
up.
especially in this sport, because there's only so much you can see online.
Yeah. It's hard. And it's a conversation that always keeps kind of coming up, and it's like I think like I've continued to say what I think, especially like in the community where like looks like we're finally reaching a turning point towards a change, but it's like I think we're still allowing the highlight reel of social media and what people want to show
Mhm.
to kind of dictate our own self-worth within the sport, which is because of especially the type of sport it is and what it does to you and how it affects your hormones, how it affects you mentally. It is a 24/7 thing that when you then are placing, yeah, whether it is pressure or placing your worth on an internet platform that
Yeah,
then you're taking in other people's way they're showing up, which you have no idea. It's like that's the thing. We wouldn't. People may not have known who don't know you would have known you went through all those things because none of that was kind of shown through social media. So people, then hold themselves that oh, I got to keep showing up this way because this person I look up to shows up to themselves that way. But it's like that then is putting that pressure then affecting them. Like even like you said to do
yeah,
with the tonsillitis, and that's something that you've learned is like you have no idea one physically any physical things and any mental things can and how much impact that can have on you and your body, especially if you want to do something like bodybuilding.
yeah, 100%. You need to be so, ah, what's the right word for it? Not necessarily confident in yourself, but you just need to know your grounding
Mm,
before you even start. You need to know what keeps you grounded and what shows the best version of yourself that you like, not what other
yeah,
people like, which is another thing that I've had to learn as well. As strong as I am about knowing who I am, like I'm not someone who likes to always try to look nice at the gym, but I love that other girls like to do that.
yeah,
Personally, I just feel like I'm more myself when I'm just like, you've seen me hair up in a bun, fucking
yeah.
everywhere, like big baggy t-shirts, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
But I mean, if girls think that that's their best version of themselves and they like it, then let them go for it. There's also just too much hate
yeah.
about certain things as well. And when someone then ends up showing another side of themselves, they end up getting hate. Why does this keep doing
I think
this?
it's your hand, like when you bring the
Sorry,
hand
I'm a
to
big
it.
hand gesture person.
That's all right.
Yeah, I think another thing is once someone shows another side of them, a lot of people just go like, something must be wrong. This isn't me.
Yeah,
It's like, but you've just never either
yeah, showed
asked
it.
or seen that side of me.
Mm.
So just know that everyone has so many different layers. Like I have so many random layers. I love sitting there and playing Sims for 1 week straight if I really want to.
Yeah,
That's not me being a slob. That's me just wanting to
just
unwind.
having some time to yourself and having fun.
Exactly. But someone will go online and just be like, she's a slob now. She's not even
Yeah,
training
she just fell
anymore.
off.
Blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's hard. I think it's good. It's a good message and important to kind of remind people to show up as themselves and also, just because you decide to maybe show a different side of yourself that is who you are to someone and they may not be super receptive, that's not a bad thing and not doesn't mean you need to shut that away. That person
Hmm.
just doesn't get it or
Yeah.
they only like a part of a side of you, and then maybe that person's not the right person to be in your circle. Because someone who, by the
Yeah.
sounds of it, like, let's just say, for example, Scott,
Mm.
your coach, he's someone who obviously one is your coach, but I think also by the sounds of it, also being a dad, he's
Mm.
been able to kind of learn what is a way to be super professional and understand and accept a person for all the different sides. And I think that's why, hence why he's got so many athletes and he's always been regarded as a great coach. 'Cause I think he is able to do that right thing instead of just going, oh, well, this is a different side of, like, for example, when you were going through those really down lows, I'm sure he wasn't going, oh, why are you being like this? Like, what
Mm.
happened to you being like this? Why are you
You know
not
what he actually
training?
said? This
Well,
is this is how much it was out of whack. He was just like, "Oh my God, Laura, you're actually human." He's like, I thought you were a robot this whole time.
That's funny.
But the way that I like to think about it is off social media, you've got so many different groups of friends that you do different things with. Like
Yeah.
friends that you like to go to a specific restaurant with. You've got friends that you like to go for walks with. You've got friends that you like to go to the gym with. You're not being the same person with all of those people
Yeah.
because you're talking about different things and you're showing different sides of you to those people because of different interests.
Yeah.
So that's the best way that I can think about
Yeah,
it.
no, 100%. What was so cool about what you said, I'm like, I 100% agree with that. And it was cool to kind of see like that started like, I guess, trending for a little bit. And
Mm,
then all of a sudden it was like that just got kind of got stopped talking about. And then it was back to people just saying, oh, this is how I am 24/7. And
mm,
it's like, but you're not. Because it's like these people, it's okay that you're gonna hang out with these people at dinner and go to this place, and then these people you're not gonna go do that. Because I know for myself, I'm like that. I'm uh, very, I guess, multifaceted and in the sense of like I like lots of different things and this things that people may, they perceive me one way and they
mm,
may not know. So then if they end up knowing that I like one thing, they're really surprised by it. But it's like, but that's just not what it's like I don't associate that
mm.
thing with you with this. So that's why you've maybe never seen it before. But now that I know, now you're seeing this side and it's cool. Like,
Yeah. Well, you also
yeah,
remember a lot of time when you follow someone, it's because of what they are portraying and you're resonating with that certain.
yeah,
But like, you never know. Like this person, you could like them because, well, they go to the gym and you
yeah,
like how they train. But then they could also be a really great roller skater that loves roller skating, but you fucking hate roller skating.
yeah,
It's like it doesn't mean you don't like them because they like roller
yeah,
skating. Like it's just you got to think about it more as like, oh, it's cool that they've got these different things. Some
yeah,
things you're not gonna like, some things you will like. It's like you
yeah.
don't like everything about your partner. There's always something that annoys you.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. I think, yeah, it's important. Very, very good points. I hope people listening are writing some notes, taking
You
it
see,
down.
I love having these deep and meaningful conversations, and anyone who wants to have a deep and meaningful with me, message me. I'm all in.
Yeah, that's cool. That's good.
Mm.
So, kind of a, I guess another deeping, meaningful conversation, but in
Hit me.
regards to, I guess, bodybuilding, and maybe
Mm.
something you've not even kind of thought about before, but looking back on the version of you, which one are you more proud of? Are you proud of the version of you who was I guess it's a hard question because you kind of naturally fell into being a pro and it kind of just happened, unlike people, I guess, who were chasing a pro card.
Hmm.
But it was kind of more like, are you more proud of the version of you that was kind of, I guess, in that beginning stages of your bodybuilding journey, or how you are now as a pro athlete and what you've kind of experienced up to now as a bodybuilder?
I reckon, honestly, probably the version of me now,
Yeah.
because the person back then was just having the feels for a bit of everything. Whereas now I can happily say that I am a proud pro
Hmm.
because of the amount that I give back as well. Like, I'm at
Yeah.
every show. I'm helping everybody. If people message me, I'll happily chat to them. There's so many girls who have messaged me because I've been to different countries now.
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
made
yeah.
notes about so many things that work and don't work when it comes to prep. And so many girls have messaged me saying, what do I do for this in Japan? And I'm like, here's a whole fucking list of things.
That's so good.
Go wild sort of thing. Like
Yeah, yeah,
I'm just proud that I can honestly say that the person that you see around and on stage and all that is actually who I am
yeah, yeah.
as well. Like I haven't actually changed myself.
Hmm.
I think that's the biggest thing that I'm proud of, that I haven't let ego get to my head or anything like that. Like you get a bit of ego from being a pro because you're just like, ha ha ha. I
Yeah,
won against like 80 other girls, ha ha.
yeah, yeah,
At the same time, it's like you can't not be proud
yeah,
that you've achieved something that a lot of people have spent years trying to get.
yeah. And I think especially when the sport continues to grow, and it's like that's right, like what you said, like I'm there's it's just it's crazy how the sport works, and it's also like funny, and it's just like it just it goes back to that genetic thing, and it's like you were able to do it in 1 year, back to back shows, where it's like, yeah, some people have been on that, like, verge of like trying to win a pro card show Like, a perfect example is Dashi, who just won the classic show.
Oh my gosh, I almost cried when he won that. I was
Yeah,
so
oh,
proud of that man. You
I
see, well,
know.
it's just like the best thing about being a pro is that you can be proud when people join the pro league,
Yeah, yeah,
as well, instead of being like, oh, another person to compete with. It's
exactly.
like the community now that's growing with it since I've turned pro. All the pros are just awesome.
Yeah.
They're all really, really great people.
Mm,
And the ones who aren't so great, they're still nice, but it's just like you can go over there.
yeah.
But most people are like really, really great, and we all support each other so much. But at the same time, I actually do miss being an amateur so that I could compete in Australia. Because my
Yeah.
partner's never seen me compete because he has to come overseas with me,
Yeah, that's hard. That's
and he
hard.
hasn't been able to.
Well, I hope they, I heard some things in the grapevine that, they might be hopefully trying to do some pro shows back in Australia. So hopefully that is true and that comes to life because that would
I
be
can
very
I
exciting.
can confirm that it's been a big talk,
Yeah.
especially because I spend all my time at Doherty's. So they talk to me quite a bit about it. I
Yeah.
think they were just waiting for more pros, especially in Australia, to be competing for the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because back when I turned pro, I think it was only me and one other person who were actively competing.
Yeah, yeah,
Now there's a lot more, like all the pros who are winning their pro cards are actually going
yeah,
overseas and competing and stuff. So now that everyone, especially since they just changed the rules that you got to win two pro shows as
yeah,
well to qualify, I think they're more inclined to do it because it's so expensive.
yeah,
It is so expensive to run, and so they're just kind of trickling the numbers. But I do know that it will come back.
yeah, which is
They really
great.
want it to.
Because that's something. It's like it's funny when I think about like when I find I guess kind of first got into bodybuilding or like I guess going to shows and things like that. It's like I don't think like the only Australian pro that was active was like Josh Lenardowicz.
Mm,
Like that was it. Like I'm sure there was a couple of the bikini girls that were like doing stuff after just turning pro, but
mm.
like all of our like majority of the males, like obviously I'm pretty sure like Aaron Pilates was active, but yeah, it was just such a small number, and then yeah, we weren't really kind of getting anything. But as everything's kind of grown, it's like what Tony wanted to do after COVID was make Australian bodybuilding amazing, and it's continued to grow in that direction. It's been awesome to see that. Yeah, now we can have the athletes to have a show to kind of I guess now give back to the Australian pros
Yeah.
and have them step
100%,
on
which is
stage.
exactly what Tony wants to do. He's
Yeah,
so happy with especially all the pros who actually want to help out the shows and everything as well, because we don't get paid to be there.
yeah,
We volunteer and we do it because we love the sport and we want to be involved in it. And being a pro is expensive, man. It is so expensive because you got to go overseas, you got to compete. A lot of places you have to pay for like the tan and everything too.
yeah.
Some of them will provide it,
That's good.
not a lot will. But in Australia, everything here is so fucking cheap compared to overseas.
Yeah,
You don't have to pay for registration to compete, which is one great thing because they want you to come and be a pro there and everything. But like, I think in America to get your tan done, it was like close to $500.
damn, that's
And
crazy.
they only do two layers, whereas here they do like three or four.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
I think it's like 250 or 300 here. So like to compete the amateurs in Australia, you guys are getting everything for so cheap, especially hair and makeup and stuff too.
yeah. It's
So
funny. It's like it's like I guess until you've actually gone overseas and experienced it, you're like not gonna realize. Like at the end of the day, it's still an expensive sport, but it's like yeah, until you go overseas, then you kind of realize like how good we have it here, and it's great to be able to kind of do what we can to continue to make the community here, I guess, continue to flourish.
it's getting so much bigger and bigger every season. Like because I work so closely
Yeah,
with Tony and Nay and everyone, they show me the numbers every single time, and I'm just like, it's just getting so much bigger, and it's so exciting because whenever it's like, especially like obviously bikini's my baby, so
yeah,
whenever I see like the girls in the overall, I'm just standing there, I'm like, who's got it? Who's got it?
yeah. Who's got it? Who's
And
gonna
it's
join
really
me?
fun to try and pick which one to go
Yeah,
as well. And you're like, oh, could be between those two. Oh, maybe
yeah,
that one as well. It's fun to be what's the word? Commentator?
yeah,
But yeah, it's fun to be a commentator. Even though
yeah,
I'm on
yeah, yeah.
stage with them, I also love being on stage with them as well because I talk to them. It's fucking bugs in here. Because I talk to a lot of the girls side stage as well. That's why they get me to expedite on the stage because I
Yeah,
just
that's
chat with
fun.
them side stage. So much fun being able to connect with them all as well because everyone's just so happy to be there. It's such
Yeah,
a fun community to be a part of.
it's cool. It's like something that like I wanted to. It was like a goal that I kind of had when I like first kind of started this before I took a break.
Mm,
Um, I was wanting to kind of like what you were saying, I think try and see if I can implement some form of what was the word you used? Commentator.
mm.
Like kind of like that. Like when you see the pro shows and you have people do the commentating to like the people backstage or like in intermissions and stuff like that, and little like one-liners or little interviews, because I think it just would be a cool addition to add in and make everything
Oh
really
no,
super.
yeah, especially at a pro qualifier, that'd be pretty fun.
Yeah, like super engaging because like that's why like what I do with this is like I really enjoy the fact that because you actually might be no I had Callum on when he turned pro, but I think you're maybe my like second pro that I've had on, so it's like because I like to try and push the amateurs and like give them a space
Mm.
and help I guess more people get to know the amateurs and things like that. So it's like kind of adds that other element on a stage day of
Yeah.
kind of giving more people, because I'm sure I know I'm sure some people, go to a show and they may have no family members or they may only have one person and they may know, like that was crazy. Like when I was speaking to Lachlan on the podcast, he was saying like when he did his first show, he didn't even have an Instagram. And so when he pulled up, he
I
like
do
didn't know,
really good
yeah,
on him.
he
That's
didn't know
awesome.
no one, he didn't know like anybody, and he was like wondering like everyone like kind of knew each other and like was talking and stuff. And then they're like, oh, like we like did you have an Instagram? Like we didn't know like who you were. And he's like, oh no, I guess I'll make one. And so then he was able to kind of connect that way. So you kind of never really, I guess, know, I guess in that regard, like the
Oh my
athletes
God,
that are
it's
there.
so much fun when there's a dark horse.
Yeah,
When someone comes in and everyone's like, who the fuck is that? And
yeah,
it's like, because that was me. No one knew who I was. No
yeah,
one had spoken about me to anyone or anything like that. And I'm just like, go the dark horses, go the dark
yes.
horses.
Always exciting.
Yeah. Every show is exciting because it's always so different.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. It's like what makes I think it's hard. It's like wow, I love bodybuilding. It's so unique. It's so special. It's
It
really
is.
different. It's like it's hard to like I think there's not many things in life where you can go if you know, you know. And it's like that's what bodybuilding is. It's like unless you're like actually get it and you're actually in it with it, you're a competitor or you're not and you're just a fan, it's
Mm,
like there's just so many levels to it that make it so fun and it's just always hard to put it into words.
yeah. Well, it's one of those things where it's like everyone, it can be a lonely sport, and
Yeah.
everyone thinks that it can be a lonely sport, but when you make a community out of it, it doesn't feel that lonely.
Yeah.
You just got to
That
find
that
the right
actually
people.
sorry?
You just got to find the right people.
Yeah, very, very important. And that
Mm,
actually goes into, and I guess you kind of dabbled on it a little bit, but as being, an Australian pro, what
mhm.
what is an impact or I guess, or both impact and something that you kind of want to be, remembered or leave a mark or like, by the community or by, I guess, yeah, I guess the community is the
Ooh,
best
that's
word.
a tough question. I've never been asked this before. Um, I just want to be known as someone who was always there
Yeah,
and who was just always a part of it. Whether I was on stage, off stage, you will find me at every bodybuilding competition unless I'm competing myself, pretty
mm,
much. Or if it's interstate, because it's a lot of traveling. But I just love being there and cheering people on and meeting new people and even just seeing the same people over and over. I enjoy the community a lot. So I
yeah,
just want to be known as someone who was always there.
yeah. That's cool. I like that. And I think it's nice because it kind of it's cool to hear that what I guess made you like cheer so much, as you said at the beginning, was that community
Mm.
aspect. And
Hmm.
then you have been able to kind of bring that and find that within bodybuilding. So it's
Hmm.
like I think sometimes people may go from one thing, whether it's a lack of community or it is a community, and then sometimes they go to something else and they either have go yeah no community from community to no community or a lack of community and find community. It sounds like that you've been able to kind of keep that consistent and you show up in the way that you do within the sport and be
Yeah.
that front runner of bringing in a community.
I think it's just very important to remember that you're not the number one in the community. It's a
Yes.
community. There's not one leader, unless you're Tony, he's the leader of our community. But besides him, there's not one person who runs it over everybody else.
Yeah. That I love that. That's a
Mm.
very very
Because there's been
underrated thought process.
There's been a few people out there who have been like, "Oh, I love all my friends, but me," and
Yeah,
I'm not but you, but everybody.
yeah, yeah. I it's so it's so funny when you say it like that. It's like I think people, yeah, it's funny. It's like, yeah, it's like people misunderstand the word community, and community means everybody equal, not community and I'm the head of the community.
Mm.
And I think
The
it's a,
person who I could ever say is the head of the community is Tony, but he's more than happy to be a citizen in our community.
yeah. But hey, at the end of the day, none of this, like, the IFBB wouldn't be in Australia if it wasn't for Tony. He is the reason why it is here.
100%.
So
And
you,
he is so passionate about it. He does not
yeah,
stop talking about it. Every time I'm training, he comes straight up to me and he's just like, "You're looking fucking huge." And like he hypes me up. He's like, "When are you next competing? I'm so excited."
yeah.
Like he's the best little hype man to have in your corner.
Yeah, it's what you want. It's like you want someone that, like what you said, a good leader is someone who is also happy to be a
All in on
civilian.
everybody else's journeys.
Yeah,
He's not just on his own journey and
yeah,
he's like, "You all need to follow behind me." He's
yeah,
very all in on everything and
yeah.
making sure everyone succeeds.
Very, very, very important.
Mm.
So,
Yes.
what is the 2026 game plan? Is
Oh,
that
Scott
is
and I were talking about this today. Today? I saw you today, didn't I? Yeah,
Yeah.
today. We were talking about this today. So we're probably going to start prep in about 8 weeks.
Ooh, exciting.
Yeah. We're thinking probably August shows.
Yeah.
We'll most likely do America again because the judges, my feedback, they loved my physique.
Okay, it's
They
good. It's
loved
good.
it. I just needed to have a darker tan because I did it all myself and I absolutely botched it. But I needed to just a heads up for everybody else. Just get the competitive tan. Just
Yeah.
don't try and do it yourself. You're gonna fuck it up.
Did you do that for all the shows that you did? You did them.
Just that one. I fucked it bad. But they were like, your posing was the best on stage.
That's
Your
awesome.
presence was the best. We couldn't keep our eyes off you, but
Wow.
you needed to be a little bit leaner,
Mm.
which we already knew because my body was fucked.
Yeah.
And your muscle shape is great. Blah blah blah. You probably need like the littlest bit more muscle, and that's it.
Yeah. That's
So
good. That's like really, that's kind of the feedback that you want for, I
mm,
guess, kind of when you think about falling into it, becoming a pro, not really having an off season, doing, a couple of pro shows, then whatever that gap was. So, you haven't actually really had much growing. And then to kind of be said, everything else, we couldn't keep your eyes off you. And then
that was you know how flattering that was, considering it was all men who normally do male bodybuilding
yeah,
judges, and I was just like, I remember this is a little bit of a hype up for myself, but I remember when I first walked out because you do on the lines and then you do individuals, and I
yeah,
was the last one there because my last name is Young,
yeah, yeah.
so I was the last one on stage, and I remember the head judge. He looked at me, he went, and I was like,
Yeah.
yes, and I just owned it,
That's
and
gotta
then
be nice.
yeah, they all the girls once I got off the stage because as I said, I'm pretty sure there was almost 30. I
Yeah,
think it was probably about 30, and all the girls once I got off stage, they're like, "Your presence on stage and your posing is really good," and I was
yeah,
just like, "Ah, that's a nice compliment." So like, when
yeah,
you start posing, you always think that you're gonna fuck it up,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and once you find your rhythm and it works, you just show yourself on stage.
Do you think that's stemmed from doing cheer? Like,
Probably.
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't get very anxious on stage.
which is good, which is
I'm
good.
used to performing. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's nice. It's kind of like you've got like some little arsenals in the back that, maybe some others don't have that, and
Yeah.
now following through on
It is
stage.
it is a little bit anxious when because this is an individual sport.
Yeah,
The other one's a team sport, so it's not someone just like staring at you the whole time. It is nerve-wracking being up there, but once you're there and you kind of like get it and honestly, I distract myself by looking at the people in the crowds and like seeing what they're doing.
yeah,
So like once you're really comfortable with knowing how to hold a pose really well, I literally distract myself by looking at the crowd. And I'm pretty good at like listening while I'm watching as well.
yeah,
So I just wait to hear my number and I'm just like watching what people are doing, someone eating something. I'm like, oh, what are they eating? So it's like you distract
yeah.
yourself
That's
nicely.
cool. That's smart.
Mm,
Because someone who I don't know who I was talking to, but they were saying something, and I hadn't even thought about that, which was
mm,
different shows, and because I think they're saying about the importance of stage, stage experience, and they were saying how different shows um different lighting and things. So sometimes you can't see the audience at all, and
Mm.
then sometimes you can. So it's
Yeah,
it's cool that you've kind of found something that works for you in that way, where if you can see the audience, you know how to hold the poster, then you can kind of distract yourself to not be too present on, oh, am I holding it right or what's going on? Let me just see what I can
exactly. Because
find, and
the biggest thing is muscle memory,
mm,
which is what you learn when you're a bodybuilder, when you're doing reps and stuff. The biggest thing is muscle memory. So if your body already kind of knows how to do it, if you're not overthinking it, it's going to look your best because you look your most relaxed, you're not shaking, etc., etc. So have been some stages where I can't see anything either because the lights are so bright.
yeah,
But I found if I look at the judges too much, I get nervous because I'm like
yeah,
waiting for them to look at me. I'm like, look at me, look at me, look at me. Whereas I'm just like, however I look is how I look.
yeah.
I might as well distract myself by doing something else. So,
Do you, no, wait, what did you say? Are you doing multiple shows again, or just one, or
if I'm going overseas, I'm going to do a whole bunch.
yeah?
There's not really much point in going over and just doing one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
Especially
think
for the price, I guess. You bang for
exactly.
your
I
buck.
think I think our aim is there's a few other male pros, which I'm not going to say who they are in case they don't want to say it yet, who are planning to compete in August at pretty much the same shows as me. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it'll be a
I
lot
I
of
think
fun.
I know who they may
I
be.
don't want to say it because it's their announcement, but
Yeah, yeah,
there
yeah.
are a few of us, and there's a few girls I believe that want to compete around then too
That'd be
with all
cool.
the girls. So
I think it's
it'll
nice.
be
I
nice to
remember.
go with people. I've always done it myself.
Yeah, which is that what I
Yeah.
was gonna say. Is really exciting. So I remember when I was talking to Mercedes and she did the Japan show. It was like really nice. They had like a moment backstage, and there was a few of the other girls that were from who competed Australia that were there with them, and just kind of makes that uncomfortable feeling of, I guess, being there alone a bit
Mm,
more relaxing, and then you can kind of make a little fun trip out of it as well.
100%. Especially when you compete in America, all the Americans know each other.
Yeah,
Get really excited when there's a new person. Like everyone, as every fucking American does, which is like, can you say this? What do you call this? Do you
yeah,
actually ride kangaroos to work? And like stuff like that.
yeah.
Uh, I remember as soon as I walked into that check-in, the organizer, oh my God, sorry, my hands, it keeps zooming in on me. Zoom out.
How do you zoom out?
Out. I don't know. I wonder if I can stop that somehow. I don't know.
Possibly.
I don't know how to do it. You can just look at my face right here. The organizer, I walked in, he's like, "You're the Australian." And I'm like, "How do you know?" He's like, "Because you're just so relaxed."
Yeah,
And I
that's
was
funny.
like, "Sick."
I'll take that. I'll take that.
Yeah. I was like, "That's a good compliment to get." He's like, "You're also blonde." And I was like, "And that too."
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But
So
yeah,
what?
it'll
What
be
would? Oh,
exciting if there's a few
yeah,
of us.
yeah, that would be good. What do you think is? I think it's fun also, like, being able to stand on stage together as well. Because that's the
Mm,
thing that, like, as amateurs, that kind of makes it a bit fun. You build little rivalries, obviously friendly rivalries or non-friendly rivalries, but it makes the sport and being on stage fun. And when you're a pro, it's like what you said, going overseas is expensive, and then not everyone gets to do the same shows. That's what you said you kind of miss as well. It's like being
mm.
in the amateur shows. So we cool to also then see how you like stack up together.
That's probably when it feels the most lonely is when you go overseas and you compete by yourself.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the shows that I've done, the pros have been pretty fun. Like there's a
Yeah.
group of them where they're just everyone's super chill because they've done it so many times before.
Yeah, yeah.
But then there's a whole bunch of them that are taking it really seriously and you can't talk to them and they won't look you in the eyes and
Of
they're like
course.
staring you up and down when you're walking away and you're like, just here to jump on stage
Yeah.
naked pretty much and do my thing. But um it will be
Always
fun
people
when there's
like
a big
that.
community. Yeah. Well, a lot of them it's actually their
Yeah,
full-time job.
full-time job, yeah.
Yeah. So like if that was my full-time job, I'd probably be like that too, if I'm
Yeah.
honest.
What is, I guess, because I think what I was trying to say before was what will be really exciting is, and why the feedback was so good as well, is just because you kind of know that the reason the look wasn't the best was because you were kind of crashing down.
Yeah.
So now that you're fresh, ready to roll, I
Mm.
guess what had been like, I guess, are you confident with the extra size that you've put on? Like, are you feeling good? You feel like, this could be potentially like, I know we've talked a bit about pressure and a bit about, not having pressure and not, I guess, putting that on yourself. And, I'm sure maybe Scott hasn't said anything like that, but is there a goal? Like, obviously, you always want to beat the next package, but like, are you wanting to just place above 12th, are you wanting to be first call out? Are you hoping to maybe, because is it also a point system like classic?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is now. So I think it's the exact same rules as Classic, where you've got
Yeah,
to
yeah.
win two shows unless it's the Arnolds, I think it is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, and you get points as well.
Yeah. So what I guess is the goal? Like, is it
I always go into it never really having a goal.
okay.
We always say it would be nice to get into first call
Yeah.
outs. We just always want to be above the average, to
Yeah,
be
yeah, yeah.
which so far I've been able to do.
Which is good.
So I think it's like every time I've competed, I have gone up in a placing.
Yeah.
So I think my first show, Korea, I was right in the middle, and then Japan, I was just above it, I think, and then the last show I did, I was 12th.
Yeah.
So the next one would just be not necessarily beating 12th because it really depends on who's competing.
Yeah.
It really does compare. So I think we already know that this is the best I've ever looked in an off season
Mm.
because it's crazy how defined my muscles are for being this heavy,
Yeah.
which we're so surprised with. I'm like over 10 kilos heavier than what my last stage weight was, and I reckon I could probably do a 14-week prep right now and be okay.
Yeah. Because what stage weight were you when your last showing?
I think I was 50,
Yeah.
but
So it
oh, maybe I was 49. I'm usually about 48, 49.
yeah.
But my last showing, we shoved so much food into me just to have fun and see
Yeah.
how it
Yeah.
went. We were just trying out different peaks.
Yeah. Yeah.
We shoved so much food into me and I was bubbly as hell. And I think I was about 50, 51.
Okay.
And right now I'm sitting at about anywhere between 60 and 62, depends if I eat or not.
Yeah. So then hopefully with that added muscle, you could probably end up maybe being that same weight, but then obviously hopefully be a bit more sharper and then have had that extra size on, which will be great.
100%. We've definitely grown muscle, there's no doubt about it. I'm
Yeah.
lifting the heaviest I've ever lifted.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm maintaining the heavy lifting, which is
Which is
what's
good,
most
which is
important.
really good. It's exciting.
So,
It's
yeah.
very exciting. Gonna be after all that hardship and all the ups and
I
downs.
know. I actually, this is my mentality. I'm just like, because I've been so up and down, I'm just like, if this is gonna, for any reason, be my last one, which I don't think it will be,
Yeah.
but if this is for any reason gonna be my last one, I'm just gonna send it and have so
Yeah.
much fun sending it. And
Yeah.
I'm very lucky that I've got Doherty's as my sponsor,
Hmm.
and I've got the IFBB behind me as well for Australia.
Yeah.
And so Tony and all that are just like, we're gonna take you all the way. Let's go. And
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, so excited for this.
Yes. It's gonna be a good year. Hopefully a good year for a lot of Australian pros.
A
You know,
lot of them are competing, which is nice. Every time I talk to any pro, they've got plans for this year.
yeah, which is just
We're gonna dominate. Watch us
yeah,
dominate.
literally. Hope like I
Excited
said,
for us to dominate.
yes, get. The goal would just be amazing to have everyone in a category in like the Olympia. It'd just be fantastic. Like
Yeah.
it's
I
never
don't mind that
happened.
anyone places in the Olympia. I just want us, at least a few of us, to just be in the mix a little bit. So then we
Yeah,
get put on the map. So then when we do a pro show, people want to come over here and do it.
yeah. That's true. That's true. That'd be good. Yeah, because it'd be nice to kind of I guess have some of those bigger names. Like, was I there? I can't remember if I
I don't
did.
know what you're talking about, so I
Oh
can't.
no, just think no, no, I was just thinking about when you're saying when we do for show during the pro show and being able to get some of the bigger names, and it was just making me think back to when the last Arnold and like because I'm pretty sure like Sam competed in it and the other person and like we had like Bonac and I'm pretty sure Cedric McMillan and Luke before he passed away. So it's just cool to like think about all those big names that we kind of all look up to kind of come on to like it'd be sick like have someone like Laura Lee like come down or anyone in the top five come over to like the Australia and do like one of the Australian pro shows to be able to I guess share that stage. Like is there any I guess athlete that you want to share the stage with or you're just kind of happy to be there?
Look, I'm happy to be there, but from what, because I've been next to Ashley Kay
Yeah.
when I did Japan. Who else have I been next to? I've been next to a few other Olympians before. I've been literally right at. Oh my God, she's gorgeous. I think it's Jess Wilson. She won the first Masters bikini
Yeah.
Olympia. she, because our last names are very similar, we were right next to each other, and she was probably the most amazing person I've ever met.
Oh, that's cool.
She's
That's always nice.
she's that person that you want to be. She's just so happy. She's friends
Yeah,
with everyone. Like she's awesome. I'd love for her to come over here. But when I was competing overseas, pretty much every person has said, "Is there an Australian pro show? I want to do it."
oh, that's awesome.
Because everyone wants to come to Australia and
Yeah,
they want
yeah,
to see
yeah.
it. And if they have a reason to come over, which would be a pro show.
Yeah.
So
Who knows? Who knows?
I don't know. I reckon if they put it on, you'd get a decent amount of people wanting to come over. If you place it nicely around other shows, like the New Zealand show or a
Yeah.
Japan show or something, they're not too far from each other. So I feel like you'd get quite a few more people coming over because a lot of people want to do a row of shows. They don't want to just do one and then have to fly all the way back because it's a long flight.
Yeah. But I think it's good. I think it's good that also like that's become like a norm too, is people doing a row of shows. I think it's more fun. It makes the sport more fun. And
If you're
especially, and I
gonna
think,
if you're gonna go through a prep for that long, you may as well go on as many stages and get as much feedback as you can.
yeah. And because that's
Mm.
really fascinating to hear actually when you said the American feed the when you did the American shows that the feedback was really, really good. What was how different, I guess obviously I guess the feedback here when turning pro would obviously be a little bit different because it's not a pro show, but how different were the feedback compared to when you did your first two, like Korea and Japan, compared to the
So
American?
Korea and Japan, I had never trained quads before because my quads are always so
Yeah.
dominating. And so when we went into Korea and Japan, we trained a lot with glutes, and then they ended up making my quads look a bit smaller. So the
Okay.
my feedback was from Tyler Mannion for the
Yeah.
Japan show. And he was just like, your structure and shape is fantastic and it's really, really great. You just need a bit more size on your quads. And then once we got a bit more size in my quads, it was just like, okay, everything looks really good, but compared to the other girls,
Yeah.
little bit more shape overall, or and then just get a bit leaner and fill out, and you'll be
Yeah.
fine, sort of thing.
That's a
So,
big thing actually, like which is funny, which I think people forget about is,
mm.
you know, it's why like feedback is important, but also at the same time it's relative based on the show because one feedback for one show it could be one thing, but it's like depending on the next and the lineup, your feedback could be different because you're only being compared to who's there on that stage at that moment.
That's also the biggest thing people need to remember is that you can look huge next to someone and someone will say downsize, and then you'll go next to another lineup and you'll look small.
Yeah.
Like I've been next to some girls where I'm just like, I look big compared to them, and then I've been next to other girls where I look tiny. So you
Very-
honestly, this is when you've got to go by your coach's eye,
Yeah.
and whatever looks good on your body that's not too big, not too small, like just right for the category, that's what
Yeah,
you
yeah.
get.
That's definitely a good takeaway. And then I guess like the importance of doing shows where you're kind of seeing the same judges or similar judges where you've got that good feedback because then you at least know whatever you had brought, we're assuming that that's, the standard for the people that will show up. So then you're already kind of placed well.
The biggest thing that I would take away from it is look at the top 5 or 6 or top 10 Olympians, see where they compete
Hmm.
because they all seem to compete at very similar shows.
Yeah.
So when I was over there, it was Jess Wilson who actually said to me, she was like, "You need to come back and compete here on the West Coast, West Coast, because your body shape is perfect for here and you'll do
Yeah.
really well here. But if you go to the East Coast, they're a lot bigger and a lot leaner and a lot
Yeah.
harder." But I think it's just because of like the drier
Yeah. Yeah.
edges
Yeah.
thing. And she's just like, "You could do really well over there, but I would suggest that you stay
Doing,
over here."
yeah. Which it's really good feedback to get given and it's
Yeah.
important. And I think, if you want to do well in the sport, you got to work out those little intricate things.
Yeah. A lot of people get really scared about competing against Olympians, and I'm just like, I want to see how big I'll look next to them.
Yeah, literally. That makes it
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, one more question before we wrap things up. Won't take too much more of your time.
No, you're fine.
What is, I guess no, no, I'll just keep it simple. I like confused myself last time I asked the question. So what is, I guess, your current life? What is the motto of 2026? We'll say it that way. How are you approaching this whole year? How are you when you wake up in the morning, what is that? Yeah, this is what I'm gonna do and like tackle the day. If that kind of makes sense.
My thing is probably just going to be don't overthink.
Hmm.
Don't overthink, just do.
Yeah.
But obviously, you got to like somewhat think about what you're doing.
Yeah.
But it's just like try not to overplan.
Mm.
Because the more you overplan, the more that you want things to work well, the more that you end up fucking things up. And just to do the things that I want to do.
Yeah. I like that. That's important.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm a
Because
bad
last
overthinker, so I'm
oh,
on the
me
same.
too.
I'm on the
That's why
same thing.
last year was just so all over the place. I was overthinking, and then I was just like, so I was meant to start posing coaching at the start of last year,
Yeah.
and I was just overthinking the fuck out of it, and like blah 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 blah. And I was like, oh, I'll do that next week because I can't do it, blah blah blah. Instead of just being like, no, I'm just gonna do it now.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what my year's been like, and that's why starting posing coaching as of 2 weeks. 2 weeks
Oh yeah, that's exciting.
at Doherty's. I'll put up a sign up form soon for everybody. So.
Everyone who's listening, hit her up. Pros and coaching is now on the way.
I know I've had so many people reach out to me being like, "Can you please be my posing coach?" But I wanted to wait until I had enough experience on other stages plus knowing that I could because I've actually last year I trialed it by posing a few of my friends for free
Hmm.
for their comps and stuff and they got really good feedback and I got Brett to look at them and be like, "What would you do differently?" blah blah blah. So Brett actually gets me to come into a lot of his little posing things that he does
Yeah, that's
with
good.
other clients because he wants my feedback on it. So he's like, I want you to start because I want to talk directly to you. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
oh, let's go.
That's
So
exciting.
yeah, I'm going to be doing it in the Doherty's warehouse next door.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. That's
Yeah,
cool.
that whole big room with the big mirrors,
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
on wheels and stuff. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
going to be doing it then.
Oh, that's mad. That's very exciting. It's gonna be a
Mm.
good year for you.
I know. No, I'm really keen for it because there's people who have been like, I've got people for you and all of that. So
Yeah, very exciting. So we'd love to
yeah.
hear. Good, big year, good things.
Yeah,
Hope
don't think, just do.
do.
That's my
Yes.
motto of the year. Don't think, just do.
I can second that. I can second
Yeah,
that.
I'm gonna hold you accountable for this.
All right.
Every time I see you
Likewise.
at Doherty's, I'm like, did you think today?
Yeah,
How
yeah,
much
no.
did you do?
Yes.
Yeah,
Love it. Well, thank you so much for jumping on and joining me. It's been an
anytime.
absolute blast.
Sorry I
And
talked your ear off a little bit.
pardon?
I'm sorry I talked your ear off a little bit. Once I
No,
get
no,
to rampage, I just go.
no. Makes it fun. Makes it fun. Makes it
Yeah,
feel natural. Makes it feel organic, and that's what it's all about. So
yeah,
I really appreciate it. Lots of fun, and uh, more than happy to love to have you back on again.
yeah, of course. Well, maybe when I start going through prep.
Yeah, little sneaky update. Get everyone
Yeah,
excited for what's happening and how things have been going, and how many people you've helped with your posing coaching.
yeah. Well, it's gonna be pretty limited to start off with, just to make sure I've got the right rhythm with it first
Yeah.
before I keep. So
Just quick side note now, 'cause now, do you do actual coaching?
nah,
No.
I was very big on if I wanted to have this as my happy place, I didn't want to work in it.
Yeah, very important, very important. I like
Mm.
that. I think that's good.
But absolutely hats off to people who can still be a coach but do bodybuilding because I don't know how you do it. I need to have two completely different things because I get really bored of doing the same thing on repeat
Yeah,
all day.
yeah,
Like if
yeah.
it's
And
like
at least,
really
at
nice
least,
to set up, I'm happy.
yeah, and at least the posing is like it's that like good middle ground. It's like it's nice and simple. It's something that you enjoy. It's an important part. It
I
allows you to
also just
also
miss
give back.
I miss the interaction with
Yeah,
people and the bikini girls that I meet all the time. I just get along with them so well.
yeah,
And it's a really good vibe. Whereas
yeah,
with my job, because people probably don't know this, but I've got like five different jobs. I'm a social media manager
yeah.
for two companies, and then I also run Stacey's 67 bikinis rental business with her.
Oh,
So I
cool.
design the whole website and I do all the back of house stuff
Yeah,
for
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
Um, and then I also do sometimes wedding content for my boyfriend's brother-in-law who runs a photography company for
Yeah.
weddings. So I've got like 50 million different jobs.
Keeping yourself
Um,
busy.
I know, but the main one that I do is social media management,
Yeah,
and you get really lonely just sitting here on your computer, not talking to anyone, but just working. So I found that I became so antisocial last year.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
just I didn't know how to talk to people anymore.
Yeah. I like I 100% agree. Like that was something that like we had been doing on the side, and it was like less in-person stuff.
Yeah.
And it was just that thing we had like one client that was like in person kind of that we would continue to kind of go, and that was really fun. It was just like a little bit more like you said, like interacting with people, and it
Mm.
was cool. So then that's when we kind of, I guess, like, in the past 4 months started like diversifying and then getting more into also just like actual photography, because at that point we're kind of only doing like videography and then similar type of like just back end stuff for people. And
Yeah.
then yeah, being able to kind of, meet more people now and doing more photography, and then combining the both and interacting. It's fun. It's enjoyable.
Yeah, I do miss that side of like I used to have so much interactions with people all day, every day when I worked back of house for a venue.
Yeah.
And it was just such a nice balance to go from like being in your zone in the gym, socializing a little bit, but then going into work and having moments where you're just like, let's drain my social battery, and then you go home and you actually crash.
Yeah,
Whereas I
yeah,
found my sleep has been a lot worse because I don't have like proper routine
yeah,
structured in the day
yeah.
as well. So posing coaching will be good because I'll have that structured to fit my day on certain days and all of that. So
Very good, very exciting.
yeah.
All right.
You want to
Well,
start posing? I'll pose you.
pardon? Yeah.
I'll pose you. I'll show you how to do the bikini style.
All right. Sounds like a plan. I can be the demonstration.
Okay, so next week I'm going to do a video with Doherty's for promoting my posing, and you're going to be my model.
All right, done.
Sick. Everybody, keep an eye out on the Doherty's and IFBB Pro League Oz page.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, this is gonna. Oh, this will be fascinating. I've actually, funnily enough, I've tried to hit a few, um, I guess like mixture between bikini and wellness poses before, just to try and like show as an example, mucking around of like my partner who like didn't know like what that actually kind of looked like.
Mm,
And I'm like not flexible. Like I'm not, if flexible is the right word. Like when it's like I know like the, especially like trying to do like the back pose and like how you like
mm.
bend your back.
But you want it to look effortless at the same time? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I commend. I literally. I think like I personally think that female posing is way harder than male posing.
Yeah, I think it would be different. Well, it might be different for me because I don't have to tense anything for it.
Yeah,
But for the men, they've got to like really hold their tense.
yeah. I guess yeah. There's pros and cons to
That's
both.
what
I
would be
guess.
hard. Yeah.
I,
Whereas
I
with
guess.
bikini posing, it's just like once you understand how your body should be,
Yeah,
that works for you because like it will be uncomfortable, but you also don't want it to be so uncomfortable that it shows on stage that you're uncomfortable. So I've got a lot of techniques and stuff that I've learned from different physios and osteos and stuff with how to make things not hurt while you're moving them and that. So
yeah. That's good.
it
That's the
helps so much. Yeah,
yeah.
that's why my posing like doesn't feel that hard anymore.
You found the secret cheat codes.
Yep. And all of my clients will get them too.
Yes, that's why they gotta come to you.
Just a little
Well,
plug for myself there.
yes, why not? Why not?
I don't know. Well, thank you for having me. This has actually been really fun.
Well, that's good. I'm glad. I'm
Not
glad.
that I didn't think it was going to be, but
No, no, no.
what you're going to get in the podcast.
Well, that's right. Like, I think, have you done something like this before?
I've done one with Tabby,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and then I've never done like a personal one like this. I don't think.
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't think. I'm not sure.
That's all right. No, it's just funny. It's like I said, most people that I've had on have not done it before, so that
Mm.
it's always fun. Like, I guess it's rewarding for myself to hear that.
Mm.
I probably sound like a broken record to everyone that's listened to every episode, but it's it's nice and rewarding for me to kind of be able to know that that person who's I've had on has enjoyed it and has had fun, because it's not normally something they've done, and that they can normally be a bit nervous when coming on, and then they end up having fun, which is good for me because I'm always
I
having
think it's
fun.
good because I knew you before this as well, so it
Yeah,
helps.
I guess that definitely breaks the ice a little bit.
It 100% it does. It definitely does. I didn't even realize it had been an hour and a half.
Yeah, we smashed it.
I know. Go team.
Well, enjoy the rest of your afternoon,
You too.
and I'm sure I'll see you soon in the gym
You will. I'll see you probably tomorrow or Saturday.
next week. I train tomorrow afternoon.
Okay, I'll see you next week then.
Yeah. Well, enjoy the rest. Enjoy your weekend.
Yes, enjoy the heat wave tomorrow.
I
Woo!
know. Luckily, I'm in aircon for majority of it.
I love it. Put me outside. I'll sweat. I don't care.
Yeah.
You're sitting outside all day tomorrow.
We'll see ya.
Bye.